So voting for the fifth and of the seven phase Lok Sabha elections has ended. As many as 49 constituencies, as we said, across 6 states and 2 union territories voted today to decide the fate of 695 candidates. This is the smallest phase in terms of the number of seats in this particular phase, in this 7-phase election, but it's been a power-packed one, or a star-packed one, with all the 6 seats in Mumbai going to the polls today. We saw a lot of stars turn out, many of them very early on, asking the voters to come out. Mumbaikars are known for not turning up, and voter apathy is a huge issue in Mumbai, and it has been a low voter turnout anyway. If we talk about the other big contests we saw in this particular phase of elections, in UP you have the Gandhi bastion of Rai Bareli. It's only seat in Rai Bareli polling where Rahul Gandhi is contesting. And if we talk about Amethi, there you have Smriti Irani hoping for a comeback, but can there be a big upset? Also Temple Town of Ayodhya also polling in this 5th phase of election. So let's go across to our reporters now. Joins us from Amethi, Ranveer joins us from Rai Bareli, and Saurabh from Hooghly, and we'll be going across to all of them. But first, let's go across to Ranveer. And Rai Bareli is the only seat the Congress got in Uttar Pradesh in 2019. This time around, Rahul Gandhi, of course, contesting, and it's been an election which has a lot of focus there. Sonia Gandhi also making that appeal that she has given her son to this region. So tell us about what the polling was like today.
Look, Rai Bareli is very interesting because this time Rahul Gandhi is contesting from Rai Bareli seat, and the voter turnout was around 55% by 5 p.m. The voting started at 7 and will end by ended at 6 p.m. So it may vary around 55 to 60%. So today Dinesh Pratap Singh voted at 8 a.m. and Rahul Gandhi arrived at Rai Bareli at around 12. And he spent almost 4 hours in Rai Bareli on the day of voting to meet people. He took selfies with the voters of Rai Bareli. He hugged them. He handshaked them. So Rahul Gandhi tried to make a connect with the people of Rai Bareli. And a few days back when Sonia Gandhi was in Rai Bareli, Sonia appealed to voters of Rai Bareli and said कि मैं अपना बेटा आपको सौंप रही हूँ. So a very emotional attempt from Sonia Gandhi was seen few days back, and today on the poll day the voter turnout was can be said to be satisfactory because around 55% voters turned up. They came to the polling centers and voted. So the fight is very interesting. Congress, Rahul Gandhi is in fray, and it's a Congress bastion. So Priyanka Gandhi spent around 12 days in Rai Bareli. Sonia campaigned for her son Rahul Gandhi, and Rahul Gandhi too hold a election rally few days back in Rai Bareli. So the fight was very interesting, and the result will come on 4th June. So Rahul Gandhi was in Rai Bareli, spent 4 hours, met people of Rai Bareli. So let us see, will people of Rai Bareli will be connected with the appeal of Sonia Gandhi and attempt of Rahul Gandhi, or BJP will do whatever it done in 2019 in Amethi.
All right, whether they'll accept Sonia Gandhi's son, or as Dinesh Singh has put it, he's the son of Dinesh Pratap Singh. He said the son of the area. Tanish, now obviously after Rai Bareli, we have to talk about Amethi, and after it was revealed that Priyanka Gandhi Vadra would not be contesting from there, none of the Gandhis contesting from there, did seem to kind of take the wind out of the sails as far as that contest went, where Smriti Irani is hoping to make a comeback. But having said that, you did have Smriti Irani, you did have Priyanka Gandhi, Vadra campaigning quite vigorously there for KL Sharma, who is he was the Gandhi's man on the ground in Rai Bareli and Amethi.
Well, of course, these two battles, after KL Sharma's name was announced, Priyanka Gandhi first, on 6th she first came here for campaigning in the favor of KL Sharma. But apart from that, there were a lot of tall BJP leaders who were here, working in support of KL Sharma. There was Ashok Gehlot here, there was Pawan Kheda here. So a lot of Congress machinery was here was in Amethi, working in the favor, working for KL Sharma. But the battle is very interesting because everybody was expecting that it could be someone from the Gandhi family fighting from Amethi, and for people of Amethi, the Gandhi surname matters to them a lot. Still, it matters to them a lot. But with KL Sharma in the fray, they have sort of made peace with it. Okay, that it might be KL Sharma's name, but it is Priyanka Gandhi's face that is fighting, because she had been campaigning there heavily and she was not campaigning just in Amethi, but in Raebareli and Amethi both. She, of course, the very first day, when the last day of the nomination, when the names were announced, Priyanka Gandhi came here while Rahul Gandhi went to Raebareli. Priyanka Gandhi came here to Amethi, and she held a small roadshow in support of KL Sharma. So of course, and from the last day of the nomination to the last day of campaigning, Priyanka Gandhi, again on the last day of the campaigning also, Priyanka Gandhi held a roadshow in favor of KL Sharma. So it is Priyanka Gandhi who has actually mobilized the voters, cadre in both Raebareli and Amethi, I would say. But on the other hand, we must not forget that Smriti Irani, long before this drama, this confusion over who is going to fight from where, from Raebareli and Amethi, Smriti Irani was actually campaigning, doing small public meetings around in Amethi. So the battle could be very interesting this time. But of course, we will know on 4th of June. But right now, I am in Lucknow. So here, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, sitting member of Parliament, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, he contested against Ravidas Mehrotra of the Samajwadi Party. So 3-4 hot seats. Raebareli, my colleague Ranveer spoke about, Amethi, Lucknow, and then Faizabad and Kaisarganj as well. Yes.
That's right, and Lucknow, of course, is a bastion of the BJP. You had Vajpayee also representing it at one time. Let's now go across to the north of the country and across to my colleague Nazir, who joins us from Baramulla. And Nazir, it was very poignant. You spoke to this one of the visually challenged voters, and you asked him, what is it on your mind when you're voting today? And he said, democracy is on my mind. I'm voting for democracy. But the talking point, really, this record turnout that we've seen in Baramulla. In 3 decades, they've recorded the highest number of voter turnout, and also the contest there. You have Omar Abdullah, you have Sajad Lone, but you also have engineer Rashid, who in a sense cleared the pitch for the other candidate.
Exactly, and it's not 3 decades; it's after 4 decades. Baramulla has recorded such a very high voter turnout. By 5 p.m. it was 54% voting, and we will hear from the Chief Electoral Officer at around 7:15 what is the final figure by 6 p.m. when voting was closed. So really record-breaking voting, most peaceful. People tried to express themselves through the right to vote, and as you saw, this visually challenged person saying, I have come to vote for democracy. That is the people's faith in democracy. While it is first major election post abrogation of 370, all these years democracy remained in a state of suspended animation. There was no politics. It was in a state of comatose. But the fact is, today people came out. They actually participated in the election in large numbers. There was an intense campaign. But also remember this, for this democracy and vote, thousands of political workers have laid down their lives. They have been killed, sacrificed their lives. Recently, just few days back, we saw the day before yesterday, a BJP worker was killed. So similarly, thousands of workers have been killed for upholding democracy, for just asking people to vote. I know so many of them. And today when people in large numbers since morning were turned up to vote, I always say it is a tribute to all those who have been killed. Having said that, this was a triangular contest. Initially, it was seen as a direct contest between Omar Abdullah and Sajad Lone. Omar Abdullah pitched, talking about abrogation of 370 and how the rights of the people have been taken away by the central government after special status was taken away, and saying he will fight for it, for the identity, for land rights, for job rights, exclusive rights to the people of Jammu and Kashmir. Sajjad Lone talking about dignity and development. But Engineer Rashid came as a huge disruptor. He created a sort of waves across North Kashmir. There was a massive campaigning, and whoever wins this election, one thing is very clear: Engineer Rashid is actually redefining politics in the valley. Whoever wins this election, but clearly he is seen threat to both Umar Abdullah and Sajjad Lone, and nowhere, wherever we went, first thing, two youngsters and the women, majority of them, they were voting for Engineer Rashid wherever we went. So it could be a closely contested election. And also we had election in Ladakh also today, where there were 3 candidates, one from Kargil and 2 from Leh, and essentially it was a Kargil versus Leh election rather than BJP versus Congress in Ladakh. But here it was actually a historic moment. Let me tell you what happened. In 1984 there was 61% voter turnout in Baramulla constituency. Then in 1989, when military separatism started, it erupted, there was just less than 5% voting in Baramulla constituency. After that, first parliament election was held after militancy breakout in 1996. There was 50% voting turnout, but that was largely coercion by the security forces. They brought people out to vote. And this is first time when people in such a large number came out voluntarily to vote. It was like a festival. It was like a real festival of democracy today. People celebrated for the first time. I have been covering elections in Kashmir since 1996. I have never seen such an enthusiasm, and I feel very happy to be part of one of those people who voted today. I also exercised my vote today as a citizen, and I felt really happy when I see large number of people coming out saying vote is the answer, democracy is the answer to every problem. And that is why we saw people in every part of this constituency. This constituency started from Badgam in central Kashmir right up to the line of control in Tangdar in Kupwara district. So across this constituency, wherever I traveled today, people in large numbers, men, women, first time voters coming and saying we want to vote. And there's no point, because this was the first time in last more than 3 decades when elections were held without the shadow of violence, without the shadow of separatist boycott call, and it actually encouraged people to be part of this major festival today, where more than now we can say near 60% people may have voted in this election today, because we are waiting for the final numbers from the election commission.
And great to see that enthusiasm to go and put their vote, given that it's been so many years since Jammu and Kashmir, now a union territory, actually saw any sort of polling taking place. Well, let's now go across, and Nazir, it's so interesting to see the stark difference in the lighting there. As you can see, daylight still behind Nazir, but darkness everywhere else. In the east of the country, it's been dark for a while, where Saurabh is. And Saurabh, tell us about the key contest there in West Bengal in this particular phase, in the 5th phase. You've been covering the Hooghly contest very closely, which is one of the most closely watched, given that you have Locket Chatterjee, a former actor and turned politician for a while now, and she is being challenged by Trinamool Congress's candidate Rachna Banerjee, who is very popular. It's the first time contesting an election, but a very popular reality show host of Didi Number 1. So tell us about that.
Well, 2 things actually. One is Nazir said he voted, well, I voted too, and like we say, I think that's the best thing, that you can go out and vote and exercise your right to vote. Secondly, yes, Hooghly is important. I was there in the morning. Currently, I'm in Barakpur, another very important constituency. Hooghly has seen a very keen contest. It's more like a battle of the stars, though Locket Chatterjee is now more of a politician, less of an actor. Rachna Banerjee, though, who's been fielded by the TMC, is more of an actor still. This is a first election. Yes, and also, what we saw was that there was voting there in Hooghly, and there was also voting in Barakpur. We saw some incidents of face-offs between candidates. For example, Locket Chatterjee in Donekhali was shown go back slogans, was given go back slogans. In Barakpur, there was a face-off between Arjun Singh and some TMC workers. One BJP worker claimed, BJP leader claimed that his car was of course damaged. That's Kaustuv Bagchi. There was a visual of a damaged rear windshield of his car. But beyond that, beyond these incidents that are very closely linked to the candidates' movements, largely this has been a far more peaceful election than what Bengal has seen, and comparatively that's a good sign, because though we have the slog overs to go where the political heavy hitting will start now, because you have the last two phases where, you know, Kolkata and its surrounding seats, and also the Jhargram Mednipur district where Shubhendu Adhikari's bastion is. These are the seats that will vote now, and therefore you will see some very strong political heavy hitting taking place in these seats as well in the days to come. But comparatively, yes, more peaceful election, and Bengal can always be proud of its voter turnout when you compare it to the rest of the country, always higher, and that's a good sign.
Definitely a good sign. And from Barakpur, where Saurabh is, let's go across to Abira, who joins us from Mumbai, and she's at Juhu, where we saw a lot of stars coming out and casting their vote. Amitabh Bachchan coming at that 4 p.m. which is his time for voting, isn't it, Abira? But tell us about what it's been like. Unfortunately, I think a lot of Mumbaikars treated this like a long weekend.
Sadly, that's true. A lot of stars, actually all of them came out voting here. Like you said, Mr. Bachchan, Vijaya Bachchan, Aishwarya Rai Bachchan, and we also saw Anil Kapoor, Hrithik Roshan, Rakesh Roshan. Everybody came out, and they even made an appeal that people should go out and vote. But sadly, North Mumbai, where I'm standing right now, Juhu is a part of North Mumbai, has seen a remarkably low voter turnout. It is lower than last year. Last year it was more than 60%. This year it is, till now, it is 47%. It might possibly increase 5 to 6%, but not more than that. So that is really sad. And in Maharashtra, it is the lowest recorded turnout of voters for phase 5 election, and North Mumbai is just following the state trend, and it's really sad. Even though celebrities always influence people here all over India, are Bollywood celebrities, but clearly they failed and people didn't turn out in numbers.
All right, thank you so much all for joining us, and getting us the reports after the 5th phase of polling is finally over. And for Saurabh, he has 2 more phases to go. Abira, no more needed from you, as Maharashtra elections have ended today. And of course, UP will continue to poll in the next 2 phases as well. Let's go across to Amitabh Tiwari now, political strategist who joins us. And this was the smallest, phase of this election, 49 seats going to the polls. But first, I want to talk about Maharashtra and Mumbai, and this was in Mumbai with the 6 seats going to the polls. You really saw the Sena versus Sena, and this election is going to decide which Sena genuinely has the hearts of the people of Mumbai.
Yeah, I mean it's a battle between the Asli and the Nakli Sena, sort of. However, the turnout continues to be low, so it does not enthuse confidence or does not show that the competition. That it was a very competitive election. Of course, Mumbai has always had a lower turnout. Since 1991, only 3 times has Mumbai recorded a turnout of over 50%. So on 5 seats, there is a Sena versus Sena battle of the 10 seats of the Mumbai-Thane region. In Mumbai, it is generally believed that the Thakres have a good hold, whereas in the Thane region, Eknath Shinde enjoys good support. His son is also contesting from Kalyan seat, which also witnessed a fairly lower turnout. Whenever there is a low turnout, what happens is that the party which has been able to execute the go out and vote strategy properly and get out their voters, normally has an edge. Because in this battle of legacy between the Shiv Sena, Shinde and Uddhav Thackeray factions, we'll have to see how this pans out.
Right, and the changed sort of political landscape in the state. But let's talk about UP as well. And, while we talk so much about Rai Bareli and Rahul Gandhi's fighting this constituency that his mother won several times, and, we talk about the Amethi contest and how Priyanka Gandhi Vadra has been campaigning there, but also the fact that for the Congress, Rai Bareli is the only Lok Sabha constituency they won in 2019, and they're down to 2 assembly seats. So it's really a battle also for the Congress, not only to save this bastion, but also, show that they are still in the game as far as, maybe a few other seats go.
Yeah, I mean, they won just Rai Bareli, and that is not only in UP, but if you see the entire phase 5, they could win just one seat, which was Rai Bareli. So, of course, the Congress party is trying to recover the lost ground in Amethi. However, as you said, winning just these 2 seats would not help, because it was the poorest or the poorest phase for the Congress party in the entire 7 phases in 2019. In UP, they've tied up with the Samajwadi Party. However, it seems to be a weaker alliance because Mayawati's BSP is not part of this alliance. Mayawati's BSP, whatever vote her party fetches, is likely to split the opposition vote and cause further damage to the Congress or the Samajwadi Party candidates. But since BJP had won 13 of the 14 seats which are going to polls today, it's not going to be easy for them also to maintain or hold on to the seats. So
Right.
it is largely maintained strategy for the BJP in UP, whereas the Congress or the India bloc hopes to gain a few seats.
All right, we're also finally joined by Manisha Priyam. We had a bit of a technical issue there with you, so we just have very little time. Manisha Priyam, your comments on, UP. We were just talking about the Mayawati factor, also about Mumbai, how this election is that Sena versus Sena, and who is the real Sena. That will be decided in this election.
Yeah, I do get some field reports saying, can you?
All right. Well, it seems we still have not managed to, to fix that technical problem with Manisha Priyam. I'm completely out of time. Thank you so much, Manisha, for briefly joining us there, and of course, Amitav Tiwari for always, being with us to give us your analysis.